ACW is sponsored by Jabati. Self-care through skincare. Jabati is for everybody. Welcome to ACW Podcast. I am Robin Gabriel-Parson, your host, and our co-host today is Carol Barber-Pierre, co-founder of Casa Samba and cultural ambassador. Yes. I am so excited and looking forward to our topic of discussion today. We're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to change the tune today. So I feel like it's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate life, everybody. I hope you all agree. Everybody needs some excitement in their life. And, with this whole gloomy COVID news around us, it's time to celebrate. And guess what? New Orleans is doing it right now. It is our carnival season. And we're about to celebrate the joys of life. Don't y'all wish y'all was here? But look, y'all, unfortunately, due to COVID and the pandemic, Carnival and Mardi Gras looks a little different and feels different. The Mardi Gras parades have been canceled. Our traditional carnival balls have been postponed, but in spite of all of that, the city is still celebrating. Our spirit is still up because we need it right now. So today, we're going to talk about the flavors of Carnival. Yes. And we're going to talk about how Carnival throughout the New Orleans during Mardi Gras, how we celebrate. And it's a sight to see too. It's really a sight to see and it's a place to be. And before I do, because I'm assuming everybody knew what Mardi Gras and Carnival is, but I'm just going to give you a real quick, brief history behind Carnival and Mardi Gras. Now, some people use Carnival and Mardi Gras interchangeably, but actually they're different. Some scholars speculate Carnival began as a pagan festival in ancient Rome, while others think it started as a pre-Lenten Christian celebration centered around the Catholic calendar. Now, people's like, what is that? Well, for those who are not Catholic, it's a calendar that reminds parishioners or Catholics of their religious faith and obligations throughout the liturgical year. Based on traditional Carnival, it begins during the season of Epiphany. Now, Epiphany starts January 6th, which is the official end of Christmas season, and it begins the beginning of the Carnival season. Now, Carnival is celebrated in many places across the globe, like Trinidad, Tobago, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And today, y'all, on the podcast, we will bring the flavors of Rio de Janeiro Carnival in Brazil here in New Orleans. So again, like I said, I'm so excited. Now, keep in mind, just like in New Orleans, people take a whole year to get their elaborate costumes together just for people to look and take pictures. So it's a big thing. Now, Mardi Gras, quickly. Mardi Gras actually started in 1703 in a French settlement called Fort Louis de la Mobile, Alabama. And then from there, the French established a city in New Orleans in 1718. And Mardi Gras had become ingrained in the city and culture by 1730. So the rest is history. So here we are today. So Mardi Gras, it basically means Fat Tuesday. It's where everybody, we eat, we drink, we be merry before that rigorous fasting and sacrifice called Lent. So you kind of see how this whole carnival thing is centered around this Catholic calendar. But I just got to say, look, I grew up in New Orleans, and Carnival for me was the most magical time. I used to love dressing up in costumes and masking and witnessing the Mardi Gras Indians meet the downtown, like the uptown Mardi Gras Indians meet the downtown Mardi Gras Indians, and they're singing and they're chanting their tribal songs. So Mardi Gras is a very interesting time. I remember one year I had the pleasure to parade with the baby dolls. Now that's a tradition that dates back to 1912. So we got a lot of flavors of Carnival that goes on in a city. But my most favorite, I got to get to my most favorite and my most exciting Carnival experience was being a part of Casa Samba. Now, Casa Samba is a school of samba in New Orleans, and they promote and showcase the Rio de Janeiro Carnival in Brazil, which brings me to my amazing co-host, I have the pleasure of introducing my special host here, Carol Pierre, co-founder of Casa Samba and cultural ambassador. Welcome, Carol.
Thank you, Robin. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Carol. Carol, please share with my audience. Tell the people a little bit about yourself and what you're doing here.
Well, I am originally from New York. I have been in New Orleans almost 40 years. This is my mom's birthplace. And for me, even though I grew up in New York, New Orleans is my home. My day job is I'm an assistant vice president for intercultural life at Tulane University, where I have been there for the last 37 years, really creating program services and advocacy for our underrepresented populations at Tulane, our Black, our BIPOC, and LGBT, religious, first gen. Um, but that's my day job. My passion is being a part of Casa Samba. And I have been intimately involved since its inception with this group. Together with my husband, Mestre Curtis Pierre, people like Bill Lennon, and a host of other faculty, staff, community friends, started this group so long ago in 1987. I believe 88 was the first year that we actually paraded on the streets of New Orleans. Casa Samba, like Robin mentioned, is an organization dedicated to presenting authentic Brazilian music, dance, folk arts. And we bring that spirit of carnival from Brazil. It just really complements Mardi Gras here in New Orleans.
Yes, Carol. And I have to add to that because I've had the pleasure of actually being a part of your school and learning how to make the costumes and learning about the history of the people and the similarities. Carol, is amazing. We're going to talk about that too. But definitely, I had the pleasure of parading with you guys, and you guys done some of the most biggest carnival celebrations in the city, from Zulu to Endymion.
Yeah, for many years we paraded with Endymion, with Zulu, with Tux. And also we've done parades in other cities within the state. We've done the Carnival Ball in Washington, D.C. We've done so many international festivals and conventions and you name it. We have worked with both adults and children in not only teaching dance, not only teaching music, teaching the spiritual traditions of candomblé, which is Yoruba-based spirituality, making costumes, walking stilts, you name it. We've been doing this for the last 30 some years.
Yes, you guys have. Yes, you guys. You are definitely a cultural icon here in the city of New Orleans. And, I say the flavors of carnival, and what I really love about this city, and you can definitely agree with me, Carol, is that we have so many people from different ethnic groups. And even from the beginning of our history, from the transatlantic slave trade, where many people came from the islands and transplanted, they were brought here and still preserve their culture, their history, and you could see it throughout our city. That's what's so amazing and dynamic, and I love about how unique we are. So, Carol, share with the audience the similarities of Brazil and New Orleans. What do we have in common?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of things in common. Most people don't realize, but we're both, when you think about New Orleans in the context of the United States, and you think about Brazil, we are a blending of a culture that is made up of particularly European, African, and indigenous people. I think when the Africans were brought to the New World, they brought with them their religion, their music, their dance. The pageantry, the European pageantry of carnival,
Right.
plus the indigenous rooted traditions and celebrations all became intertwined, both in Brazil, particularly in Rio and in New Orleans. New Orleans is the only place really, even though Mobile has a carnival just like ours, but New Orleans has been known as the capital of Carnival in the United States. So
Right.
we celebrate Carnival and Mardi Gras at the same time. We do it a little different in that we have crews that organize and have parades through the streets in which they throw trinkets to the masses. In Brazil, they more sing and dance and present their carnival through themes that may be about the government, that may be about the current situation, that may be about things happening in the world. And they parade both. Their major parade is in a stadium that is, I guess, the size of Canal Street. If you take Canal Street from Claiborne to the river, most of the big groups that parade have to go down this avenue, and they have to sing and dance, and each group may have 3,000 to 5,000 people in it. They have to push floats, they have to dance and sing, and it's an amazing presentation. And there's so many other similarities. You think about food. Again, the Africans brought with them the food. So, there's a similar dish to gumbo. We love red beans and rice, and they love black beans and rice. Even the spiritual practices here in New Orleans, the Africans brought the ones that came from Africa into Haiti and then brought into the United States, brought voodoo, which in New Orleans became voodoo. In Brazil, the Africans brought that same spiritualism, which became what they know as candomblé or umbanda or caboclo even. So we share the culture, the music, the dance, the religion, and the foods. That's just a couple of things that we do.
Yes. That's beautiful. Now, Carol, with all what you just explained, someone who wants to experience the Casa Samba, I know we're in a pandemic. So how could they connect and experience some of the things you just explained in reference to educating them about Carnival in Brazil? What are you guys doing right now with this condition, this pandemic? How are you keeping your traditions of celebrating Carnival alive within all of these restrictions?
Well, all of us have had to be extremely creative around COVID.
Yes.
But I felt like, as a dancer, as somebody who has this love for this culture, for this music, that I just couldn't stay home, stay in, that I had to be creative. So Casa Samba has actually been holding dance classes outside of the center that we traditionally have for several months, socially distancing, masking up and all of that, as an effort to keep it going, to keep folks in shape, to keep our dancers and our musicians up on their music, on their choreographies and rhythms and routines. We've also been able to do some virtual stuff. My husband, Mr. Carol Barber-Pierre, has been really working on how we expand our programming virtually. Several online classes in which he's traditionally done in person with kids at libraries and schools during residencies. Awesome. He now is being moved to a virtual platform. In recent months, though, with the lifting or the changing of the status of COVID, we've been able to get back into our center located. It's a Nord Center located at the Annunciation Center on Race Street, to be able to still do classes inside, in person, but very limited. So we've been holding classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays from like 6:30 to 8, as well as our Saturday morning class, which is outside of the center on the basketball court at 8:30. We've been able to keep it going.
Yes. And I'm a witness to that because I definitely attend. I love it. It's a way of you guys in the community. And what I enjoy is the people that walk the park, when they're looking at us dancing, they're asking questions. So they're learning too. So, you guys are definitely in the community, preserving and continuing sharing the culture. So, and it's something we need. And as you mentioned, we dance, we exercise, we get our heart rate up. So it's a lot of fun, and we're learning about history. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I encourage people to come out, wear your mask. Like as Carol said, we social distance. So most definitely. But Carol, my question, and I'm thinking we in reference to Brazil, can you kind of elaborate on, since they are also dealing with pandemic during a very big time, and a lot of times the people that participate in these carnivals, these people don't have a lot of money. They save up money for years to create these elaborate costumes just to get out there on that special time, and now it's been like taken. And so how do you think they are a healing, or how do you think they're continuing the traditions
Well,
in
I
Brazil?
mean, and for people who don't know, Brazil has the second highest behind the United States of incidents as well as deaths. So they are really struggling when it comes to, and you're talking about uh, um, a much poorer country where there is huge discrepancies between the wealthy and the poor. Um, yeah, and you're right. To have that 1 hour during that one day, people will work and pay a little bit every day, every week towards that elaborate costume, or they will go to rehearsals and all those things to get ready for that one day. I was speaking with friends in Brazil, and they had initially postponed it to July, but last Thursday they have, for the first time in a century, they're going to cancel Carnival 2021, the largest carnival in the world.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
not only, I mean, definitely as a result of COVID, but they're also they're not able to get the supplies and the stuff that they've gotten from Europe and Asia to make all of those amazing costumes and floats and all the things they need to put on Carnival. So they have as serious of challenge as we do here in the States.
Wow, wow, that's so unfortunate. But we keep the spirit alive. Like I say, here in New Orleans, though we're not having our parades and our balls, the
Mhm.
spirit is still in the air, because as you notice, riding up and down the streets, people are doing house floats now.
Yeah,
So isn't that amazing?
it is. I was riding down Magazine yesterday and I was like, oh my God, it's amazing how it's transformed all the stores and the shops and stuff that have come out and created a sense of carnival within their own space. There are many houses, and there's a tour that you can do to go around and see those houses that have um, created that sense, that spirit of Mardi Gras. We too are even thinking of creating a Mardi Gras kind of home float here at our residence. So yeah, I mean, you can take away the parades, but you can't take away the spirit. You can't take away that hunger to
Yes.
really celebrate and to be grateful for what we have. And we've had a lot of loss, and we've had a lot of sadness. And this is the time, I think, where we can rejoice a little bit. We can kick our heels up, but we still need to be safe. So I really amazed at the resiliency, and we are resilient people, and that's been evident
Yes,
you
we are.
ever since Katrina. You think about how resilient we are, and we will get through this. But in the meantime, we have also inspired so much creativity on how we can do things differently and still be able to celebrate, remember, and reflect on this season.
Carol, tell us about right now, again, like I said, we being creative in reference to
Mhm.
every aspect of our life. Casa Summer right now is getting ready to roll out a cultural and wellness community outreach
Mhm.
initiative.
Mhm.
Talk about that, which I am so excited over, because I get to be a partner with you guys.
Yes, we think about what we do, and dance is something that to me is such a stress reliever, a body conditioning, just a way of life that I think is real important. And building and awareness of the fitness and the wellness that goes into dance is something that we want to expound upon. So we are
Yes.
partnering with you in the urban fitness program and with one of our other dancers to do kind of a samba boot camp for those who really are inspired to do the dance and want to get that cardio workout. Both of those opportunities are going to be available in the upcoming weeks here in February. So we are expanding our program a little bit. On Monday, we'll do the urban fitness, Casa Samba, and the Samba boot camp will happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we will also work on bringing other things that really highlight, particularly for women, that need to get out, move your body, and to release some stress with all the things that are going on, to learn about culture, whether it's here in New Orleans or in Brazil. So really expanding so that we are really engaging our full selves. It's one thing to dance, it's another thing to understand how you are, how dance is affecting your body and how to do it properly, whether it's learning how to breathe or being able to count and listen to music and listen to rhythms and know when to come in and go out, and learning how to warm up and to cool down and to really get our bodies ready for dance, for exercise, because it's a lifelong thing. I think it's real critical, particularly in a place like New Orleans with the kinds of food and we need to think about how we are caring for our bodies. My mom always used to tell me, if you don't have your health, you have nothing. So can't really do anything or help anybody because, if you're sick. So how do I keep my body, which is my temple, in a healthy state? And I think the opportunities to explore wellness and fitness through a kind of funky urban fitness, or whether it's yoga, or whether it's samba boot camp, or doing the various dances from Brazil. And I will say samba is the most aerobic, and it's like, to me, it's similar to second line in that it is the dance that you grow up with throughout your life.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, we're definitely excited. So listeners, I hope you took all that in. We're very excited about Casa Samba and their expansion. So Carol, what's next with Casa Samba 2021? I know you guys got getting ready for Carnival, which is a few weeks. So yeah, just kind of share that with us.
Well, I mean, obviously, there are lots of things that we do, and because we show that similarity, I know my husband is working on some projects with other Black carnival cultures here in the city. So the Black masking Indians, the baby dolls, the second line and brass band, the social aid and pleasure clubs, of really highlighting the contributions that the Black carnival cultures here in New Orleans have had on the city and the region.
Yes.
We will continue to kind of really work on improving the internal workings of the organization, expanding our outreach, expanding our communications networking, to really kind of enhance our website. And then we have some projects with various entities in the city. We hope that once the city gets back, we can get back to our performances, our residencies, doing conventions and other special events that highlight and really bring some education around this culture and the impact and similarities it has to the city.
Yes, and we're looking forward to that. So thank you so much for sharing your energy with us today. Carol, please leave our audience with the contact information with Casa Samba. And
yeah,
if you want to get in touch.
Okay, yeah. We will be putting a lot of the stuff up on our website. You can always find out about Casa Samba by going to www.casasamba.com. That's the quickest way to find out what's going on. We also have a Facebook page and an Instagram page, and that's all listed on the website. I encourage folks to, try something different. Samba's a lot of fun. The most important thing is the community, the networking, the spirit of coming together and really letting go and really paying attention to your health. So I am delighted and honored and grateful for coming on the show today, and hope that we can continue our work together. But
yes, most definitely.
Hope that we can get back to some sense of normalcy soon.
Yes. Well, listeners, you heard it here first on ACW. We are celebrating the joys of life here in New Orleans. And you all know Mardi Gras is the biggest free party in the world. So everyone, again, live life with purpose, intention, and love. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
ACW is presented by Partnerships in Fitness, a fitness and health and wellness consulting group, building strong minds and bodies, and empowering one community at a time. Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to our Pifnola YouTube channel, and leave questions or comments. ACW is sponsored by Jabati. Self-care through skincare. Jabati is for everybody.